Parris. I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. Of course, the phone lines are open 414-444-5250, 414-444-5250. Let me do this. We've been talking about the pardons that both Joe Biden and Donald Trump has done. There was one pardon, though, that kind of flew under the radar. And I'll just read it. This is taken from Fox News, who reported it. President Biden issued 5 more pardons on Sunday on his last full day in office, including for political activist and black nationalist Marcus Garvey. America is a country built on the promise of second chances, Biden said in a statement. As president, I have used my clemency power to make that promise a reality by issuing more individual pardons and commutations than any other president in the U.S. history until Trump did what he did on Monday. Today, I'm exercising my clemency power to pardon 5 individuals and commute the sentence of 2 individuals who have demonstrated remorse, rehabilitation, and redemption. These clemency recipients have each made significant contributions to improving their community. In addition to Garvey, let me get down the whole piece on Garvey. The Biden White House described Garvey, who influenced Malcolm X, as a renowned civil rights and human rights leader who was convicted of mail fraud in 1923 and sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. Former President Calvin Coolidge commuted his sentence in 1927. Notably, Mr. Garvey created the Black Star Line, the first black-owned shipping line and method of international travel, and founded the Universal Negro Improvement Association, which celebrated African history and culture. Dr. Martin Luther King described Mr. Garvey as the first man of color in the history of the United States to lead and develop a mass movement. The White House said advocates and lawmakers praised his global advocacy and impact and highlighted the injustice underlying his criminal conviction. There were a lot of people during that time who were Garveyites. As a matter of fact, Malcolm X's father was a follower of Marcus Garvey. And a lot of people believe that that's why he ended up losing his life. And I think Calvin Coolidge had gone in and commuted it, but then they ended up deporting him back to Jamaica. There was a lot there. I'm trying to name it. If I come up with the name of the documentary I watched on Marcus Garvey and his rise and his fall and things that contributed to that fall. A lot of it was obviously the U.S. government, but there was also Marcus Garvey, because anytime you go into a situation, human enterprises, they're human beings. I know that there was, during the Obama administration, people were advocating for that pardon. Mr. Biden has granted that pardon posthumously, but for Marcus Garvey. There are a lot of people, I don't want to go out, maybe somebody correct me, but I think he had influenced people like Elijah Muhammad and others. This whole idea of Black self-help, improvement, and what it was really all about. So again, we might have missed it again with the noise of everything else going on, but Marcus Garvey has been pardoned by former President Joe Biden. All right. Treadmill.
AKA streetcar, AKA
man, dude.
Yeah, it was hot in here, man.
I know when Rhonda said I wonder what Keith Parris thinks of that conversation. I said, Keith Parris didn't start that conversation. That was Al and Michelle.
Ooh, yeah, Al opened up the floodgates.
Open the floodgates of heaven.
Well, Al don't believe in heaven.
Did Prince get any of that?
Yeah, Prince wrote that song.
Of course Prince wrote that song.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to Prince get into the residuals. When he recorded that, because
of course
at the end of it he doing
yeah Prince got.
Hey Jermaine, though, I'm gonna throw this out there, man, so you can just get on the piano and just play.
Yeah,
I said that little boy who we played, they said he had that child was on a feeding tube till he was 8 years old, had never played piano in his life.
Yeah, man, that was a gift.
And his dad put him in front of the piano and he started playing like a prodigy.
But most people can't just get on the piano.
I know most people can't, but it's possible because
it's not possible. I'm just saying, but most people.
Yeah, those people learn. They learn how to play.
So
when you're gifted,
there are exceptions to general rules.
Well, no, not general rules. It's just some people are more advanced, or I don't want to say
it's all these things are going, but I'm just saying that the average person just can't sit down and start playing piano.
Right. That's what makes that's what separates you from the average, I should say, because
you're the exception to the rule.
Exception. Well, yeah, I guess if you put it like that.
And I would say that most people have some form of musical ability, but then there are others who just have a higher form. I mean, it's what goes into, it's that argument: is it nature or is it nurture? Is it I was born or was it the environment? Now, people say that it obviously is going to be. It could be your natural inclination. Certain things that you just attracted to. That's probably the nurture, but then the nature of it, the nature of it, but the nurture is then you being in an environment where you can then expand on that talent or gift.
Yeah. So let me say this. I know that I was told this, and I know this to be true because my brother did this with his daughter. When my mother was pregnant with me, she wanted to play piano. So she sat down at the piano and fiddled with it and couldn't play at all. And when she had me, they went to church, and the pastor told her that this one that you're pregnant with. No. Listen.
A headache.
No, listen. This one that you're pregnant with
is gonna test you.
No, is gifted. Is gifted. Now, of course, she had no clue that
some extra.
I'm pretty sure. No, but listen, she had me 5 years old. I started playing drums. the evil guy. Boy, this cat is terrible.
He's gonna use the gifts we give him to make money to serve the Lord.
Hey, listen. He said, "Man, your gift will make room."
But your character keeps you there.
But your character keep you in the basement. No, but listen, seriously. At 5-year-old, I started playing drums. I was playing drums. At 12, I never forget it. My mother, she had a keyboard in the room because she still trying to play. And it was this show that was on. It was The Monsters. And I heard the intro theme, the dun 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 dun. I still remember it. I walked over to the corner. I picked the keyboard up that was laying up against the wall, turned it on, played it back, and been playing ever since.
Yeah, I think because I'm trying to think what my natural talent is.
We know.
Not that I can really think of.
Aggravate everyone else.
No,
that's a
why?
Talent.
Why?
God given.
Aggravation.
Well, I told you I came here July 12, 1957. I was hating July 12, 1957.
That's how I started.
When did you start?
Excuse what?
When did you start? How old were you?
How was I?
How old? You heard me.
I like what? Started what? I don't start doing what?
You sound like your protege Kennedy now. What did you say? I'm going, little Negro, you heard exactly. And then the other time you repeat that verbatim. And she go, excuse me, what did you say?
When you get off my people. When you get off my people.
Your protege.
But I mean, start what? Like, you mean, when did you start? Start what?
Hating, man.
No one has ever said I'm a hater. Ever.
Phone lines open, 414. No. 414-444-5250. Is Michelle a hater?
No one has ever said that.
Well, we're going to this morning somebody will.
Only Yola fans.
Okay. Oh, that's my little fans.
My little women that listen to you.
My tens of fans.
That love you.
Oh, but you're not a hater.
Happy.
You're not a hater.
Crazy about me. They 2 or 3 little women.
Caller, welcome to the program.
Keith.
Nobody gonna call in. They scared.
Please,
because you gonna hate on them when they call in.
No. You got 2 or 3 little ride or die sisters.
Caller,
Don't say nothing about Kate.
Caller, welcome to the program. You got a lot of folks defending you,
lady. But mine is with good reason. They defend you just because it's you. They defend me because I be right.
Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning, everyone. Assalamu alaikum again to you all, Mr. Parris in particular. I would say that with the thing about calling Miss Bryant a hater is more theory than probable.
Hey.
And the why I said that is to make my point concerning the word theory. Theory has more to do with speculation. It is vague. It's more relative to possible, whereas probable is when you have gotten to the point of proof where you can substantiate something. So if something is a theory, that's just your speculation. And it may be more based in your emotions or your discomfiture or the disrupture of your emotions as opposed to the actual facts concerning this person's disposition.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that Miss Bryant is not a hater, probably. More than
probably. That sounds like a qualified statement to me. Can we be a little bit more?
Don't twist his words. Don't twist his words.
He's missing the point. See, he's missing the point. I just made the point. Whereas theory is different than probable. Theory is more relative to possible, as opposed to probable has to do with factual or actual.
Okay.
Theory is presumptuous. Assumptuous. Probable is, yes, I can prove this because we can point to something to substantiate the claim.
But doesn't probability start with theory?
That's right.
Okay.
But as long as it's in the realm of theoretical, that means it is not probable. Okay. You're still in the vague area. As you talk about gray, you're in the gray area. Probability has more to do with black and white, left and right, up and down.
All right. Appreciate you. I don't ever remember saying that I thought theoretically she was a hater. I think I was pretty emphatic.
Hey.
I think in English that's called a declarative sentence. Caller, welcome to the program. Officers here. Caller, welcome to the program.
Michelle is not a hater.
Thank you so much. George.
I appreciate you, George.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this, if you don't mind. Michelle said people are ugly. And I texted her yesterday. So you don't think the orange man is ugly?
Oh, no. Okay. You know what? I didn't realize that was you that said
exactly, George.
No, I don't think that Donald Trump is ugly. I don't.
Oh. Okay.
Not in terms of his physical appearance, no.
Is he your type?
Oh.
Is he your type? Why you pause? No. Is he a yes or no?
That has nothing to do with
is he your type?
And not be ugly.
Answer this question. Man.
Of course he's not my type.
He ain't her type.
I mean,
of course he's not my type.
I mean, she was standing still,
George. He has to be ugly. With his tape and his makeup,
is he handsome?
He look okay.
Is he handsome?
He ain't ugly.
Is he handsome?
He to somebody.
Is he handsome?
To somebody.
Is he handsome to you?
There's nothing wrong with Donald Trump.
What?
All right, I just had to ask that question.
All right, yeah, I'm just saying, there's nothing wrong with Donald Trump.
Caller, welcome to the program.
He look regular. He like a regular white dude.
Wait till we get off air. wait till we get off. We gonna have it out. Wait till we get off air.
Caller, welcome to the program.
You say
good morning.
Like
good morning.
This is Angela.
Hey, Angela.
What's up, Michelle? You all good. You ain't no hater, but now if it was Debo, I gotta ride with him. But the other fella, I don't know too much about, but I'm down with Debo, so you can't get on my guy Debo. But anybody else, they easy game. Go ahead and do what you do.
You know what? I appreciate that. I would never say anything about Debo.
Man, don't nobody like Debo, man.
Hold on now.
A hater and a liar.
Right.
I would never.
Michelle, we got tapes.
Now.
We got evidence.
Would never say anything about Debo.
Debo, don't do Debo.
Why not?
That's
Debo do
my
himself,
guy.
though.
Debo do bring
Don't
it
worry
up.
about what Debo do.
Yes,
So what?
ma'am.
He
Yes,
can.
ma'am. Yes,
Debo
ma'am.
bring, hey,
He can.
Uh-oh.
Y'all just
There you go.
don't let your mouth write a check.
Don't. That's right.
Don't let your mouth write a check.
That's
That's
right.
your King Cat.
And Debo be out here bouncing plenty
Angie,
checks.
Angie, did you summons me, baby? Did you need me?
Debo be out here bouncing plenty checks.
Yes.
Yeah, he writing checks. He can't cash.
But don't worry about it. It's gonna get covered though.
And, you know what? And I appreciate it.
It's gonna get covered.
But
You got
Angela, may I ask you this question? So is Michelle hating on Debo?
No, never. She better not. She knows business.
Could Michelle hate on Debo?
She better not.
I know you kept saying she better not, but can she? Would she?
No, she cannot. She might try, but then I'm calling in. Believe that. I'm calling in.
She kidding.
Because I'm down with dude. I'm down with dude.
look,
And tell that young man that was talking that yin yang yesterday, I'll be up there Friday to take him out for breakfast.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to wear my suit and my Stacey Adams.
You know, ride you over there to this pimp side.
Pull up in the Saab. Pull up in the Saab in the meat coat.
I'd have been driving the Saab. They never saw a pimp driving a Saab, playing a Saab.
Saabs used to be hot.
Not the pimps.
Convertible.
You ain't going nowhere with me looking like that.
And I had the rims on him. I had the 18 on the joint. I had the 18 on the all black side.
So let me ask you a question, baby girl. So
I like y'all.
I like you too. So let me ask you this, baby girl.
Right. You understand me?
Everybody didn't have a Saab, bro.
So if you would have pulled up,
you might have got a hell.
he would have pulled up.
Oh, I got a whole
He would have pulled up.
And if it was a drop Saab at that, black on black,
I had the moon
and that
black
top
on
was
black
down,
with the nice 18s on
you was
them.
gonna get the hell out.
Hopped out in the.
You said.
Now if you had a fur coat on, get at your Saab.
Hey, I hopped out like, hey, what happened in here?
It's the time and the place.
You sound like they describing his BMW.
Right.
Yeah, those are 20. But they ain't really 20.
They ain't really 20.
They ain't really 20.
They 18s. They ain't really 20s.
They ain't really 20.
I'm gonna tell you something. I had the harshest lesson when I was in college. This young sister, you know, everybody wanted Benz. And what was that one Benz model? Let's go 190. No, it was a small one.
Oh, it was a two-door.
I think it was a two-door
with the soft top.
It was.
But it was like a one. It was did Beamer? I mean, Mercedes at one point have a one something series,
Beamer, I'm sorry.
like a 190 or something else like that. But this 18-year-old girl had one when we was a little black girl. Her parents had bought it for her first car to go to college. And so we all turned around, and there was a older black person who at the church they had the same model, and so everybody went 18, 45. 18 because the other person was 45. And that's when you realize like the difference in the range of these numbers. And I remember somebody they was ribbing the funeral.
Let me shout out Brother Nate Luckett and the good folks there at the New Pitts Mortuary. Good morning, Deacon Michael Jones. All right, we can get back to what we need to get back to.
Well, I'm just saying, I remember when somebody was like, they was ribbing when we was around, and we was at that church and we was ribbing. And somebody told the pastor, they said, you driving the same car 18-year-old kid driving, bro. We was just standing there like, you didn't think about the range. Yeah. And so, like, if you driving that version, could you really afford a Benz?
Yeah.
You really couldn't.
Benz you could afford.
You really couldn't. They created a little special one just so you could.
What was your first car?
Audi.
What? No, it wasn't the Saab. What was your first?
Yeah, I had an Audi.
My first car was a Toyota. It was a 2-door red Toyota.
Okay. Yeah, I had a Fix It Again Tony.
I'll fix it again.
A Fiat. A Fiat.
Man, but Fiats was hot too.
They were hot, but I got to use one. And then I got to thinking, dude, you a political science major. What's the one thing you always noticed about Italy? They was always on strike.
Yeah.
Right? So when you get a car from Italy, the workmanship is not, it wasn't the greatest. Yeah, that was my first one.
Yeah, mine. You couldn't tell me nothing about my Audi.
You had a Pontiac?
I used to love those Grand Prix.
I was gonna say which kind of Pontiac?
Or what? Grand Prix G6.
Oh, he said a G6.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Those Grand Prix. It was Grand Prix.
Oh, those Grand Prix.
I used to love those joints.
Man.
I had one of those. I got it from my brother.
I used to love those.
I'm
trying to think when Rhonda, did Rhonda have a Grand Prix? She can text me with her first car. I don't know if she had a Grand Prix.
My true first car was the one my mother gave me, which was a 70 Mustang drop.
You drive stick?
I do drive a stick because so my mother gave me my first car.
Okay.
My car that I first bought was the Audi.
Okay.
And I bought a stick.
Okay.
And I could not drive a stick. So I called one of my college friends, Sheldon Shields. I will never forget this brother ever. And I said, Sheldon, I need you to come meet me at the car lot. And I said, get dropped off though, because you got to drive my car home. And he brought me home and he taught me how to drive my stick in 20 minutes in our parking lot. And I've been driving sticks ever since.
I learned how to drive the stick right there on old Emmitsburg Road, which was like a hill.
Emmitsburg Road.
Yeah, it's right outside the college.
Oh.
And so my late friend Ron Banks, he said, Keith, I'm gonna let you use my car. He ran track, so he's on track weekends. I'm going. You can use my car, but you need to learn how to drive it. It was a stick, right? So man, I get to the hill, I roll back. Get to the hill, roll back. Get to the hill, roll back. I'm like, dude, I don't want to do this anymore. Now he knew my motivation. He said, Keith, you want to eat dinner? I go, yep. I got that car up the hill.
I know that's right.
I got it up the hill.
I had three. That was sticks.
All right. So let's do this. Your first car, was it a stick? Was it automatic? Man, the technology, man, and cars, man, it just come from, Rhonda and I would just say, we thank you, Jesus, the car starts. 26 below zero, the car starts. Now, they still got some folks out here who decided they were going to put all that stereo equipment in the ride, and you ain't got nothing to crank it with.
Nothing. You sitting out there with speakers and subs. Ain't listening to nothing.
Ain't listening to nothing, and you ain't moving. Call ICU. The phone lines open 414-444-5250, 414-444-5250. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
The passing of a loved one is emotional enough without adding the stress of funeral arrangements. By pre-planning, you receive the desires of your heart while taking away the burden from your family. It also saves you money, providing the dignity and respect your memory deserves. And there are times when life ends unexpectedly. Please know that the New Pitts Mortuary is here to lend a helping, caring hand anytime, day or night. We
when you say what?
Good Lord willing.
And the creek don't rise.
Right. It says, and the creek don't rise means that something will happen as planned if God wills it, and no unexpected obstacle or disruption occurs. The origin of the phrase is considered American slang, with the creek likely referring to a small stream that could become impassable during heavy rain.
So no creek in particular.
No, not Lincoln
It's
Creek,
metaphorical.
not Honey Creek,
Not Lincoln Creek.
not Lincoln Creek.
So you got to believe in God, though.
It's just a
Believe in the
metaphor.
creek, right?
No, you don't have.
I was just asking. I didn't know.
Oh,
You just said if God's willing. Well, if you don't believe in God, then there's no willing. Right?
Well, look, no. It says if God willing and
the creek
don't rise.
So, but still, so that means
It just didn't say if God
that you gotta get the
wills.
first part. But if you don't believe in God, then there's no will for God. So the creek still can ride.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's that deep. I
I was
just
just asking. I don't know. You know,
I think it's just a
Because he's still
phrase.
trying to make a point.
No, I'm not
He's
making a
still
point.
trying
I'm
to make a point.
Listen, I'm trying to get answers
I
here.
told him somebody else texted me about, but it's still monkeys though.
Yeah, it is. That's right. So I was just wondering, when did they decide they was going to stop
And
changing?
we did not come from monkeys. We came from the ocean.
But that's what people was telling me, that we evolved
Well,
from
it's
monkeys.
amazing because I think the Scopes trial was like 1920 something. So 100 years later, we're still having this debate. You have Origins of Species, right?
Right.
By Charles Darwin. A lot of what Charles Darwin did was observational. You would look and then you'd be able to. But I mean, now there are people who believe that evolution is a religion.
I knew he was gonna get sucked in. I
know you can't help it. Evolution is not.
He lives for these conversations.
No,
he really
not
does.
really. Not
Does
really.
he do? He gonna start busting down every book he ever read, and you know.
Well, speaking of
This guy is a walking book, man.
but actually we
Yeah,
came
he's
from
walking
the
You said we
whole
came from
origin-
the ocean.
from the ocean.
So we came from water.
Yeah.
So
when
you just came up from out the bottom of the ocean. and
Your
stuff.
body is 70% water.
I know.
right. I mean, the you know what? If people
But how did we come from the ocean now?
we just crawled on the shore.
You just crawled on the shore.
Right. And then this is, and you know, COVID was a great example of evolutionary science, right? Because it talks about how species try to survive and they evolve. So the giraffe, we're talking thousands of years, probably started here, but then as they tried to reach vegetation over years, you extend. So it depends on where you were, your environment, but species are always adapting because they're trying to survive their environment.
So why turtles are stretch?
Turtles end up developing a shell. But you're talking now billions of years. I mean, this didn't happen in 8,000 years.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. Now you said that because when you said the concept of a creator, how many years ago did you say that was?
What was it? 14,000.
So the numbers average between 45,000 and 200,000 years ago. But we know that the solar system is more than 4 billion years old.
Right.
So the first time that they can go back and document when they can figure out people first started referencing God is somewhere between 45,000 and 200,000 years ago.
Right. And I always tell people, if you just want to see an example of evolutionary science, look at pregnancy.
Look at what?
Pregnancy.
What do you mean?
It's because pregnancy starts with two cells
Mm-hmm.
that begin to evolve and develop into then what we call, well, it wouldn't just be human beings, but in our case, human beings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it starts from a cell you can't even see, right? With the human eye, and then be able to expand. I'll say it again. Science has its own lane. Religion has its own lane.
Mm-hmm.
I think, if you have a responsibility, if you're not exposed, if you didn't have to sit in a class where you're exposed to science, or a lot of people, I was listening to a comedian. No, it was Jamie Foxx in the movie with Cameron Diaz, and they was talking about stuff you don't need, like algebra. You don't need algebra.
Oh yeah.
But you need geometry, you need physics, you need chemistry, right? I mean, if something as basic as a recipe is really a chemical formula, because you're mixing together ingredients to create something. So I mean, it doesn't, and then it's hard to, and Michelle, you did a great job for someone who's never gone to divinity school, explaining that, and Stevie Wonder kind of summed it up. He said, those things that we don't understand, we apply superstition to.
Right.
Faith has its place. Belief has its place. I was, Rhonda just looks at me like I'm crazy sometimes. I have to watch all of the news outlets, right? I don't have to, but I do. So I was watching Newsmax, and there was this whole thing of moving from wokeness, right? This whole attack on being woke. And so you had the sister on, and she was going on, Black people don't believe in transgender. Black people don't believe in bisexuality. Black people don't believe in abortion. Well, I don't know whether you believe it or not, but they exist. So whether you believe it exists or not, and that's the problem. People call me and their preference, their question was, Keith, do you believe?
Yeah. And
I have to differentiate between what is knowledge and fact and then what is belief. You know, so that always that's difficult for people because, and if anybody has been programmed to believe first and think second, it's Black folks. That's part of our plantation religion. You believe first, you think second. No, you can do both. It depends on the situation when you need to apply it. You know, there is no blanket. I just believe everything when everything around you is science, and you try to act like that doesn't exist. I never forget the late Reverend E.M. Kelly said something in the Bible study. The only time I actually paid attention. He was talking about the whole thing. Jesus said, the faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. He said, if you had enough faith, if your faith was strong enough, you run through that wall and God is going to open that wall. I ain't seen that much faith because I run in that wall, I'm going to get hurt.
Now, I know I have seen an incident in that a child was underneath a car, and I wouldn't say it was faith. I wouldn't equivalent this to faith. I can equivalent this to will. The mother was trying to help her child and was able to lift the car
They can explain
up
because
off of the child because of your will. Your adrenaline is running. So your will.
And as a person who's been under a tractor.
Yeah, my grandfather was under a car, and our cousin lifted it up off of him
because of the
will. My cousin just rolled it off of me. So you talking about treadmill? I had tire back. Right?
If I could, I'd just like to point out that Jamie Foxx in the movie, you know, we actually use algebra every day in our real life. Yeah. When you talk about measurements, making food, you're going to make a cake, blah, blah, blah. And then on the box where it says, if you're making 6 portions, use this amount. If you're making 2 portions, use this amount. That's actually algebra. Yeah. And the trajectory that a basketball player standing there tries to figure out what kind of force I got to put on this ball to get it from the free throw line versus 3-point range.
Wouldn't that be physics?
A part of that is algebra, though.
Algebra, physics, geometry.
Algebra. Yeah.
How is it algebra?
Because you start talking, trajectory is also a part of algebra. It's also a part. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got algebra? Yeah, like when we were talking
basketball players can calculate the trajectory needed to get a point. So you, again, where you shoot from 3-point range, you looking at the archer, how much time how much drop you got to be able to put on that ball.
How much force?
Force. Yeah, same thing in football.
Yep.
But it's
depending on where you're throwing to on the field.
But is the force tied into algebra though?
Algebra, physics, you got
physics,
but it's multiple things.
It's multiple things. That I'm just saying this when a woman said this to me, it was so profound. She said, math is truth. She said math is truth. She said science is truth. And what I'm saying is those things that we recognize as proven is true. 2 + 2 is still 4.
It's what they told us.
No, it's what it is. 2 + 2 is 4. I mean, and then
that's what they told us.
That's what they taught us. You know, so I don't think that we can
put 2 eggs on the table and put another 2 eggs on the table. It could be something other than 4.
You got 2 sets of eggs. You do. You got 2 sets of eggs.
Yeah, but it would still be
But
four
it's still
combined.
4 eggs.
Hey, you
combined,
just
it was
asked
four.
me. You wait, hold on.
No, because
Don't
you
move the
changed.
goalpost.
No, I didn't. You did because
You
you
just
said
asked-
sets. I said how many eggs are down there.
You said
You switched it. You switched what we were measuring. We weren't measuring sets.
Right.
We were measuring
plead the fifth.
individual eggs. So
Well, let me-
you switched.
I plead the fifth.
So let me ask you,
Boy.
how many people?
Treason.
How many people are two twins? How many people are two twins?
Wait. How many people
Are two twins?
are two twins? Now that's a heck of a question.
Not really, but
What, one? So
four.
wait, 4 people are two twins?
Two twins.
Oh yeah. Okay. 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 I was like, hey, hold on, man. They told me there'll be no math. And
I was watching.
order.
Was it Necessary Roughness with Sinbad?
Oh, yeah.
And the guy, they were putting together their rosters. And the guy said, "I get the two twins." And I'm going, "Well, there's 4 of them." Call her up to the program. Good morning. Good
Oh,
morning.
dang, what's going on?
Hey man, we just wanted you to wait.
It so felt like because I forgot about you.
You get any snow in Phoenix?
No, we ain't getting no snow.
Is it cold?
A little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
We had low. I think our low was like 36 the other day.
Oh, that's cold.
Yeah, that's cold.
That's
Yeah.
cold. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cold. And then the high was like 58.
Yeah, but not for them.
That's
No, even for you. You'd be surprised when you go to a warm climate and you thinking, "Oh man, 58 is balmy." You be just cold as people down there. Feels cold.
Not
yeah, it's cold. But the question is, since it's a throwback Thursday, we ain't doing that no more.
Oh yeah, yeah, man.
So when will the word ribbon ever go out of style? Because I know that's a Milwaukee thing. That ain't gonna never go out of style.
What,
You go
ribbon?
somewhere else and say ribbon, they ain't gonna know what you mean. They're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
think you
true.
talking about a baby back rib.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Hold on.
Hey man, that's a Midwest thing, man.
No.
I never heard it in Chicago. I
Yeah,
never
I heard it in
nowhere else. I just
Chicago.
heard Milwaukee.
I heard it in Chicago. I heard it in St. Louis. But then again,
Chicago is Joe.
Yeah, but they
What's going on, Joe?
no.
They said
No,
ribbon
if they
here
ribbon-
is good natured teasing.
Yeah.
He took a good deal of ribbon. It depends on, because in Milwaukee we had gunning,
Yeah, we had gunning.
cutting,
Yeah, cutting. Yeah.
cutting on.
Yeah.
But I heard ribbon when I was in Maryland. You know, people.
I heard it in St. Louis.
DC, they would say
I ain't
ribbon.
hear nowhere else from Milwaukee though.
Yeah,
I
they
heard it
talk
in St.
about
Louis.
ribbon.
Like, oh, so you ribbon now? Like, wow.
Oh, so you ribbon now?
Yeah.
Or what's the word we say? Milwaukee things. On what?
On what?
Yeah, now that I didn't find out. I ain't heard that till y'all started getting on. I had never heard that.
On what? Yeah.
Yeah, I had never heard
Yeah,
that.
that's more like for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you
On what?
can you get dookies down in Phoenix?
Of course. They ain't
Yeah,
called dookies, but
You
yeah.
get dookies.
They call Air Force One.
They call Air Force One.
If you go to Foot Locker in
If I go
Phoenix
to
and you
Foot
ask for a
Locker,
pair of
they're gonna look at me
dookies,
Man, they gonna look at you crazy, man. I did that in
They're
New
gonna look
York.
at me crazy.
I did
They're
that.
gonna be like, "That's a dookie."
Yeah, they was like dookies.
Matter of fact, Michigan they call them sticks.
Sure do. Yep, sure do.
Because of the
Call 'em
soul.
what?
Because of the soul.
Yeah.
Because of the soul so
Yeah.
thick at the bottom.
Yeah. When I was in New York, man, I walked into the store that we were shopping. And I was like, man, I'm looking for some all white dookies. He was like, what? I said, the Air Force Ones. Oh yeah, we're right
So
here.
give me another word for shoes in general.
Shoes,
Yeah.
kicks,
Kicks.
Yeah.
Kicks.
kicks.
Yeah.
But we call them tennis shoes. But you go anywhere else, they be like, "What is tennis shoes?"
You know what? I would tell you a term that we didn't use here in Milwaukee until probably around hip hop was sneakers.
Yeah.
We never
Yeah,
called gym
sneakers.
shoes
We never
sneakers.
called- still call them tennis shoes.
Call them tennis shoes. Tennies.
Tennies. Yeah.
Tennies. You know, yeah,
Tennis.
tennis
Tennis.
shoes.
Yeah,
Sell sneakers in New York.
But the thing
Yeah.
is, why we call them tennis shoes and we're not
And
even
we're not
playing
playing
tennis?
tennis. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but where did sneakers come in?
That's a
I don't
good
know where
question.
sneakers come from.
Because they actually are called sneakers.
No, but I'm saying, why did someone call them sneakers? Because of soft soul, you could quietly get up on folks.
Either that or
If you have you heard the saying of because Jerry Seinfeld said it on Wale CD. Why do we always want to have white shoes when we go out? We feel better when we have white shoes. Why is that?
and why is black, associated
It's a
with
hood
armed
shoe.
robberies and hoods?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because some dudes told me that when they see somebody in black
All
dookies,
black.
they up to something.
And that is true. No,
That's true. They put some work in and they got on black dookies.
All black, the hoodies, the all black.
No, because
The ninja.
if you pay attention, when Giannis played basketball, when he played a good game, and he's finna go off, and people be like, Giannis got some black dookies on.
Yeah,
He's about to
but,
do it.
He said
Yeah.
he'd be going off in multicolored shoes, though.
yeah. But in the streets,
No,
man.
no, I'm talking about his walk-in dookies, his wear. Because only person that wore dookies and it was really Rasheed Wallace, and he had the high top ones.
Yeah, I know, man. I know in the hood where, man, if you're gonna do an armed robbery, a drive by, or something, you wear
wear
all
black
black.
dookies.
And yeah, for some reason, it's to go get you some black dookies to go commit a crime. I don't know
Because you
why.
don't want anything to stand out. Right?
Well, I
You
mean,
wanna
it
be
ain't got to be black
nondescript.
dookies. It could be black Pumas. It could
Well,
be
I
black.
don't wear Pumas. I don't wear.
And
Skechers.
Air Force
I don't wear-
One.
So you want to look
Black-
fly.
black-
So you want to
course
look
I
fly
am.
robbing something.
Of course I am.
You right.
Air Force One
You're not gonna look
is
like-
Nike's most popular brand.
Sure is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course
yeah,
I am.
most
Yeah,
so-
but you know what? Dookies is a heavy shoe. I cannot wear Dookies no more. That shoe is too heavy. I'm working for comfort at this time of age.
My high top
So I ain't be wearing them heavy Dookies. Them
Mine
shoes are too heavy for me, man.
So let me ask you this question: what was your first car?
Delta 88.
What year? What year?
Four door,
Yeah.
86.
So what color?
You had 86, 88?
And an 86, 88 Delta. So what color?
It
Gray?
was
That was my
no,
mama's
it was
first
brown-
car.
It was
green.
it was Dookie Brown with a white top.
Ooh.
All
So
right,
you got
man.
the skirts on it?
No skirts. But I did buy a 2-door 9.8 with skirts.
Yeah, Doc. Yeah.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
All right.
Okay, so real quick, the term sneaker was first used in 1887 by the Boston Journal to describe how quiet the rubber soles were on tennis shoes. The term sneaker comes from the verb sneak, which implies stealthy movement, quiet steps. And so they said, they began to call them sneakers because you can sneak up on
Sneak
them.
up on people.
Yep.
Oh.
Caller, welcome to the program. Good morning.
Good morning, Brother Keith.
What's happening?
Good morning, Michelle.
Hey, good morning.
And good morning to the board op producer.
Good morning there, sir.
This is Rick calling you long distance from Germany. And I'm saying you need not only to get back to 1920s, 1930s science, but you need to get to sustainable science, because we have produced automobiles, we have produced a military, but all of this pollutes. So it's scientific to create it, but it's not sustainable. And if we don't get to sustainable science soon, we're going to be going bye-bye as a human population and species. I'm done, folks.
All right, drop the mic. It is 100 years this year of the famous Scopes monkey trial.
I was going to look that up.
Yeah, and just give you a little background on this. The Scopes trial, formerly the state of Tennessee versus John Thomas Scopes, and commonly referred to as the Scopes monkey trial, was an American legal case from July 10th to July 21st, 1925, in which a high school student, John T. Scopes, was accused of violating Tennessee's Butler Act, which had made it illegal for teachers to teach human evolution in any state-funded school. The trial was deliberately staged in order to attract public attention to the small town of Dayton, Tennessee, where it was held. Scopes was unsure whether he had ever actually taught evolution, but he incriminated himself deliberately so the case could have a defendant. Scope was found guilty and was fined $100, equivalent to $1,700 in 2023 dollars. but the verdict was overturned on a technicality. The trial served its purpose of drawing intense national publicity as national reporters flocked to Dayton to cover the high-profile lawyers who agreed to represent each side. William Jennings Bryant, three-time presidential candidate and former Secretary of State, argued for the prosecution, while Clarence Darrow served as the defense attorney for Scopes. The trial publicized the fundamentalist modernist controversy, which sets modernists who said evolution can be consistent with religion against fundamentalists who said that the word of God as revealed in the Bible took priority over all human knowledge. Case was thus seen both as a theological contest and as a trial on whether evolution should be taught in schools. Caller, welcome to the program. Good morning.
Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing?
Good.
Good. How you doing?
Yeah, I just wanted to share with the radio audience and y'all what my first two vehicles were.
Okay.
The first one was a 1966 powder blue Ford Ranch wagon. The only thing powered on that car was me.
Did it have panels? It didn't have panels on it, did it?
No, man, didn't have the panels.
Okay.
But you remember those station wagons back then had that back seat all the way in the back that would let up?
Yeah.
That car hit buildings, it hit trains, never got a dent. The second car I got was a 1963 Ford Falcon. I could drive from 44th and Capitol where I live down to the radio station right up the street from me and would have to put gas in it. I just wanted to share that with y'all.
You know, it's crazy. Anybody who was in anybody that was in the Metropolitan Youth Choir from 1972 to about 1975, our car was the Falcon. Our supervisor had a Falcon. I don't know how we got 8 people up in that Falcon, and her little girl Anissa. Yep.
Man, what was that car that Cole drove on Martin?
He had a Pacer, didn't he?
Pacer.
Yeah.
Which is basically
the
glass.
car.
The ugliest car
Oh, wow.
Pacer was so ugly. Oh my God, that was the ugliest
The Gremlin
car.
was pretty ugly too.
They looked similar.
Gremlin was
Think
pretty
about
ugly.
the body shape. It was kind of
But wait
similar.
a minute, that's an American Motors car.
It still was ugly.
Built here in Milwaukee and in Kenosha. A lot of people, a lot of old school guys remember working. You know where the Walmart is there on Houghton?
Houghton.
Yeah, Houghton and Capitol.
Yeah.
That's the old American Motors plant.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all that stretch over there, right over there on Houghton.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, American Motors.
Is it train tracks near that over there?
Yeah, I was always train tracks near there.
Because I was going to say that would make sense in terms of parts, delivery, pickup, all of that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I never knew that.
Yep.
Somebody, I'm sorry, I was just going to tell you, somebody brought up when y'all was talking about what was regional in terms of calling shoes.
Mhm.
They talked about regional in terms of food because she said she went to, I'm sorry, they said they went to get McDonald's and they went in the South in Alabama and ordered a steak bagel. And the people looked at them like, what is you talking about? Because they don't sell them down
don't have
there.
them down there?
Nah. Food is regional.
Yeah, McDonald's, they will do certain things like the fish fillet, which is when I used to eat at McDonald's. I no longer eat at McDonald's. We're protesting. But the fish fillet was a sandwich that a franchise owner in Cincinnati, which is a big Catholic town, did during Lent. And it kind of picked up because that's what McDonald's will do now.
That's the only thing I eat from McDonald's now.
The fish fillet?
Fish fillet.
Now, I'm going to tell you, McDonald's also did something where Burger King did not. Burger King had the original Big Boy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you look at the Big Mac, the Big Boy is the Big Mac.
Big Mac.
Yeah.
Oh.
Same thing. It's same thing. But Big Boys never trademarked the sandwich. McDonald's went in, trademarked, and then instead of saying they were using Thousand Island dressing, they called it special sauce.
Special sauce.
Matter
of fact,
Ray Kroc was a genius. That man, I mean, he had his issues. And a thief. But that man just knew. They said he'd be in Chicago. I had a friend who was, and he said literally he'd be in the office downtown with binoculars on, watching people go in and out of the McDonald's.
Wow. So he had a vision before.
He had a vision, but two things he did steal. He stole McDonald's, basically.
Yes, he
from the
did. He
McDonald's
stole
brothers.
McDonald's.
And his wife, Joan Kroc,
Think about that.
was married to a guy who had a McDonald's franchise in Minneapolis. They were trying to figure out, because they were doing shakes, and they were actually doing shakes. They came up with this formula they used to do what became the McDonald's shake, which I don't think is like a ice cream. I think it's some other things that they use, because you could able to store it, because they had to store all that ice cream. So he goes up to visit the guy, talk about the whole thing. Well, long story short, not only does he take that whole McDonald's shake, he also takes the guy's wife.
Real quick, whoa, he was a player. Huh? Real quick question.
A thief.
So is Big Boys franchise or that's private?
Oh, Big Boys, yeah, it was a franchise.
It was a franchise.
Because in the South, it was Shoney's.
It used to be one on Brown Deer Road.
That was market.
About the
that was
burger.
Yeah, the burger. Yeah,
Big Boys. They had the big dude with the burger.
But the people that had the franchise here was the Marks.
Yeah.
Oh,
so Marcus family. Shoney's. No, Shoney's was a whole different group of folks that owned Big Boys.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because there used to be a Big Boys on Brown Deer Road when we first moved here.
Oh, there was one downtown. There's Big Boys everywhere. Over where that, I don't know if it's what is it? Is that a Metcalf Mark right there on Van Buren?
That is.
On Van Buren, okay.
Yeah.
But that used to be a Big Boy.
Wow.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, the one downtown, that's what you did, man. We come out the theater, walk across the street, get a Big Boy.
But I told her, I said, as soon as I hit Birmingham, I know exactly where to go to Jack's to go get a smoked sausage biscuit sandwich. Because you can't get none of that up here. Like,
the one I wish would have never left was White Castle. I know a lot of people think.
I don't like White Castle no more.
Well,
back in the day, I loved White Castle. But now, like, it's too soggy.
It's sending you straight to the restaurant.
Well, I think because you're probably taking it home.
No. Like, as soon as you eat it, like, you get it cooked, the way that the onions and stuff sit on that bread, now it just tastes like mush in my mouth. Because you can get them from the freezer section.
I'm so country. I was in New York for a business trip, and so I said, I'm going to go to Harlem. So I took the subway up to Harlem because I'm going to White Castle. I get to White Castle, and the interesting thing in Harlem, I don't know if it's still the case, it was White Castle and Popeyes. They together. So I'm now back on the train with my
White Castle.
I stuck up the whole train.
Oh yeah, because them onions on there ain't no joke. Them onions ain't no joke.
Caller, welcome to the program.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Well, yeah. Good morning, Mr. Keith Parris.
I don't know who is this.
JT. How's everybody doing?
Doing all right for a black man living in America.
I knew you was going to say that.
You know I'm going to say that, especially now.
You know. Hey, but anyway, Mr. Keith Parris, I want to say good afternoon to you, sir, and Michelle.
Hey, JT.
Hey, good morning, dear. And hey, don't get mad at me for acting like a Latino this morning, okay?
Hold tight. I'm going to put you on. Hold on.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Keith?
Yes, sir.
Parris?
Yes, sir.
Excuse me. I was saying hello to Miss Michelle Bryan.
She said
hello.
I know. Okay. Well, I did try to say I want to thank Michelle and Jermaine and Garvey for allowing me to come in this morning to what we did about the Latino thing. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, dear. Now, Ms. Keith Parris.
Yes, sir.
If I may revisit, sir, you're talking about driving ship, back in the days, standard ship or, what you were saying earlier.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Keith, did you have, because back in the days when you did standard, when you used to do with the muscle cars, the muscle cars back in the day, sir. Everything you and the callers called in, talking about the muscle cars. But back then, they had how many pedals?
It would be 2. 3.
No. Thank you. 3. I caught you. I caught you. But you're right, Mr. Keith Parris. Back in the days, sir, the muscle cars, we had 3 pedals. One was the accelerator pedal. One was the brakes. And one was called the clutch.
Right.
So, because if you were driving a standard shift back in those days, you had to hit the clutch in order to, go to reverse, drive, or whatever the case may be. When you're talking about going up the hill, you didn't see nothing but the truth. Because hey, if you don't hit the brakes and hit the paddle, it will go in reverse. But that was a tricky thing to do. But that was the days, though. That's how the muscle cars was made back then. They had 3 clutches at the bottom of the floorboard, and one was called a clutch. Okay, so excuse me, not to drag this out, but Keith, I just want to say, man, let's remember that back in the days. And those muscle cars everybody was talking about, those was the eight cylinders or something like that. Back in those days, we had 4, we had 6, and we had 8. The 8 cylinders, the muscle cars. Yeah, man, you had to know how to drive it.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you, man. We had a Land Cruiser, which is a truck, but it was only 6 cylinders. And man,
I know the Land Cruiser.
Man, it was just like, and you needed for a truck. You needed 8 cylinders. They don't even do it anymore. They don't even build that model anymore. All right, man. So, what was your first car?
Keith, my first car. When I know for 30 years, I always talk about me being in the war and being in Vietnam and all that kind of stuff. I'm just glad that y'all didn't ask me what did I do after then. Okay, so where did you work at? Where did you go to college at? Where did you go to whatever at? But anyway, Keith, yeah, but you're right though, man. Just to say, thank you for not asking me that, because to me it wasn't all that important. But Keith, yeah, when you talk about men coming driving and stuff like that, my first car when I came back home was a 1972 Cadillac Sedanville.
Okay.
And 4-door 1972 Cadillac Sedanville. It was chocolate with a cream top.
You know what I'm getting? I'm getting that people for their first car, they sold y'all all kind of ugly colors for your cars, didn't they?
What's that? What you talking about?
Brown?
What you talking about?
A brown car?
Talking about chocolate? You talking about chocolate was ugly?
Chocolate brown for a car?
You know, for real.
What was you talking about? My granddaddy had a chocolate brown Cadillac. Well, that was a killer.
It was brown.
It was beautiful.
Brown.
Like hey,
brown socks,
it was.
And Keith. And
you ain't seen no cold chocolate. It's a chocolate brown Bentley in the city. That's stupid. Yes.
It's a Bentley.
I mean, that's different. I mean,
it's still the same color.
But just the name alone gonna make it.
No,
beautiful.
Y'all silly. So the name will make it pretty.
Oh yeah.
That's
like, it's the same chocolate.
That'd be like a brown Chevette.
Or like a brown Pacer.
Y'all ridiculous.
Brown Griblet.
Excuse me. Not only did I have that chocolate brown 4-door Sedanville Cadillac with the malt color vinyl top, I had gangster white walls.
Yes, sir. Gangster white walls. TV
I didn't have that TV in the tent.
Just be thankful.
You know, Michelle, but for real though. But anyway, gentlemen and ladies, Miss Michelle Bryant, and listening audience, yeah, I remember those days, and I appreciated that. Because that's my first car. I'm not talking about the other ones I had, but you know what, Mr. Keith Parris?
Yes, sir.
Back in those days, man, that was the real deal. We had our chocolate brown with malt color vinyl roof top with gangster white wheels. And Michelle said, without the sunroof top, diamond in the back, sunroof top, leaning again with the gangster thing. Woohoo!
I appreciate you, man. Sure. I think it's digging the scene.
Hey, hey, Jermaine.
Yes, sir.
Tell them the truth, man.
Hey,
tell
man.
them the truth.
I'm gonna tell them like it is.
What color was that song?
Thank you.
Black. It was all black.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's slick.
Some gangster 18s.
Well, they weren't really.
They weren't really 18.
They were 16. Welcome to the program.
Gotta keep going down.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Dr. Ward.
I finally got in.
Yes, sir.
I got hung up on 2 or 3 times.
Look at that.
Y'all blaming it on this. This is the Reverend Dr. Andrew Ward. Been teaching for 60-some years, and I want to tell Michelle something about algebra. I've heard that stuff 1,000 years about if you do this and you do that, you're doing math. Algebra is a formula for solving math problems. And I didn't do well in algebra because I wasn't into it. And the people who were into it and did well, they hardly used it for solving problems. It's something, I don't know what it is that people do math requirement stuff and they don't know algebra. But basic math is the bottom of all of that. And now we have internet, or what you want to call it, the computer. They do everything. You don't have to do it. I'm gonna let you. And since JT was talking about what kind of cars he had when he got out of Vietnam, when I got out of Vietnam, I had a '68 Chevrolet Impala, and then I upgraded to a white Deuce 225.
I was waiting for the first person calling, tell me about the Deuce and a quarter. Yeah.
I was leaning. I had my gangster lean, but I didn't have my TV diamond in the back.
That's why I love black people.
Roof.
I had my diamond in the front.
Because you didn't say Electra 225. You just said Deuce and a quarter.
Deuce and a quarter. Yeah.
He had like a kind of goldish one.
Yeah, Deuce and a quarter.
But yeah, and that's the biggest car ever. Yeah, you can fit 8 people in that car.
Listen, that was gonna take 4 people to turn.
Now, because they were
slide across the back seat.
because you guys were the Osmond family. Did y'all have a station wagon?
We had a station. Listen, we had a station wagon, and all 11 of us, including my parents, there's 9 kids and the 2 parents, so that's 11. We all got in that one station wagon and went to church. Debo will tell you, we pulled up at church, and it just seemed like it wouldn't stop from the people getting out the car. It was like everybody getting out the car. It wouldn't stop. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, man. Wow. Okay. Now, I was just looking at the automatic transmission, and it was done in 1939 with automatic transmission. All our cars now are automatic transmission. It's hard to find manual shift. Mm-hmm. And now, a computer. In a lot of the cars, it's the computer.
Yeah.
I was telling you all that. You know, cruise control on our truck in terms of speed. Yeah. I mean, it has sensors on it. You get too close to a car, it slows down. It speeds up when there's X amount of distance. So it's the computers in cars. That's why during COVID, there was a shortage of cars because they didn't have the computer chips to be able to run your car. But if you look at cars after X number of years, it's computers. Yes, ma'am.
Somebody said my dad had a 62 Ford Country Squire. 11 people would fit comfortably.
Jesus.
And that was before bucket seats.
Well, I mean, bucket seats was meant to personalize you. Yeah,
bucket seats was started off though in the more sporty cars
in the Mustang.
Right, but now you look at everything is bucket seats. Yeah. We don't even think it's bucket seats anymore because of the rail there, the panel. But it used to be that was all one thing, you know, one seat.
Yeah, one seat. Yeah.
You watch some of these old movies and you see people getting in on the passenger side, just sliding over to the driver's side. Yeah. Try sliding over now.
Oh, you're calling bucket seats when it was just that one seat.
No, that's a whole seat.
No, that's
bucket seats.
Bucket seat was the individual, right? That's what I
said.
I know, but I was like, am I misunderstanding that?
No,
okay.
But usually those cars, I think the bucket seats, you're right, started like with the sporty cars, the Mustangs. And I'm going to tell you a car I don't understand, the Corvette.
I was about to say, the T-tops, I don't.
Well,
T-tops is cold.
Yeah, I just don't understand.
On my Trans Am.
I didn't understand those guys.
I don't understand. Why would you buy I know it's for
I got
speed.
basically T-tops on my Jeep.
Yeah, because you can pop it off.
Yeah, I can take off either side or both.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like everything on my Jeep comes off.
So
I take the entire top off and the window sheet.
414.
I can take all of that off.
444-5250. Did anybody own a convertible?
I thought that.
Yeah,
I did. I had a Sebring.
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 From that story I told you.
Oh, for real? Yeah. Yeah, Sebrings was hot back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a Malibu.
But let me tell you what happened to me, Doc. Listen to this. I had to play at this church service in Racine. So I'm in my drop top in a suit. And I had the little TV, with the video playing, right? The sun was shining when I went to church. When I got on the freeway coming back out, the sun was still out. I hit the top. Now, with those, you got to pull over.
Not doing
to roll
60, 70 miles an hour.
No. You have to pull over to let the top up.
Yeah.
So what happened was, I'm in the suit flying. It started raining on the highway. So I'm driving. Water is going on in the car. I had to pull over, and then it takes time for that top to come up and close. By the time the top closed, it was water, and I'm in a suit. Water all on the floor bays. My little TV was done. I had to go to the car wash place and take the vacuum and suck the water out. My car smelled like mildew for about a week or two because of the rain inside of the carpet. It was bad, man.
You know what? Let me shout out Jeep. I'm going to shout out Jeep. Jeep, especially the Wagoneer, they have, now first of all, they do Macintosh in terms of the sound system.
Oh, yeah.
If you know anything about sound system.
It sounds great.
You know, Macintosh is just, you can get a Macintosh receiver for $6,000. It ain't cheap by any stretch of the imagination. And the sound quality is incredible.
Yeah.
But in that thing, that screen there, they have a fireplace. You put a fireplace there. It's a visual. Yeah, it's a fireplace. That was the
Wagoneer is just meant though, because I mean it's a traveling vehicle.
Yeah.
You know, so it's meant to be, comfortable and luxurious.
Dude, to be able, because first thing I'm looking for in the car is what's that sound system sound?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, them Burn Masters and them Benzes ain't no joke.
But see, the thing about German cars,
they ain't no joke, man.
They really build on efficiency. You know, the efficiency of the engine. That's why a German engine can last like forever.
Yeah.
The Japanese really got into they got into comfort because Americans like comfort in their car. All those things you think about, heated seats, heated steering wheels. I mean, it is. So now you get to the point where, you go from just the practical, I need to get from point A to point B, to the level of comfort that back in the day in my period of I want to sell all my earthly goods to feed the poor, because I had no earthly goods to feed the poor. And I used to get on people, you and your air-conditioned cars with your windows up riding through the community, not caring, until I got my air-conditioned car.
I can't do it, bro.
Ride through the community with my windows up.
But I even think about it's times when our windows should be down that we have our windows up in the ACO. I'm like, it's not hot out here.
Everybody did that. Like,
you just be like, you'll never let, I know people who never let their windows down. You'll never get the fresh air inside. You always ride with your windows
told my
up.
brother, I was out of town and he kept my Land Cruiser. It was summer. I said,
Land Cruisers used to be hot.
I said, dude, I'm going to tell you now, if you want to not put gas in the car, don't run the air conditioner. Oh no, he ran the air conditioner. Because you burn, and then that little 6-cylinder, you burned a whole lot of gas.
Man, speaking of that, I used to hate when my mother and father used to do this. You got a car full of gas. It's hot as a fool in the car, and they'll say, "Don't turn the air on. You burning gas." What? That's what the air is for.
No, it ain't for you. I used to have a buddy. He said, "You got a choice." He said, "You want to ride or you want heat."
Oh, that's bogus, man. That's bogus. Oh, that's bogus, man.
It was like, no, man, because you burn the gas, man. I'm
bogus,
dude. It's like,
well, what they put it in the car for if you don't use it?
Well, your family got that car so they get y'all from point A to point B. Remember the practical reason for getting the car. As you get, and women too, because I told Michelle, I saw like these three beautiful, beautiful young black women. They took, you can take the doors off, the top off that Jeep, and they look like a commercial. Those girls are so fly. Because now, it's about style.
Yeah, now style.
It's like, because what was it like when dudes would talk about, like, if you had a nice car and you hollered at a woman and she hollered back, you don't want to get with her because she want to get with you because of the car?
Because of the car. Yeah. Now, I have heard that.
But you wanted her to see the car.
Of course. That was the purpose of you getting in and flying.
Oh, your car could stop you from not getting no conversation.
Yeah.
Pull up on the wrong thing. Boy, you move.
Like a Saab.
Hey, I was about to say, so my Saab got me plenty numbers, man. I pulled up.
Yeah, you pull up in the wrong thing.
I pulled up and had a parking space right in front of the car.
I don't even feel bad. Like, nah, player.
You had to hear my
That's
brother.
how you ride?
My brother was talking about the Fiat.
You want me on my car, woman.
Right now, your car is the first thing I see. It's indicative of what you doing. You ain't doing nothing. You can keep on moving.
So dude in the station wagon pulling up ain't got a shot.
You got kids. You ain't. I mean, I always think about when old boy got me along in the Cadillac hearse. Bill Bellamy. And what was the movie?
I know.
We just had the anniversary of
a booty call.
Her and Neil Long. It was the whole poetry movie.
Poetic.
No.
Love and Hip Hop.
Love and Hip Hop. No. Love and Basketball.
No.
Brown Sugar.
No.
We did all of them. Love and Hip Hop.
They just
Lorenz
Tate and Neil Long. And Bill Bellamy was the hater, Keith Parris.
Brown Sugar.
Was that?
Wasn't that Brown Sugar?
Yeah. Neil Long. No, I think
somebody
that
just
was.
what was it, Brown
It wasn't How to Be a Player.
No.
Lorenz Tate. We just had the anniversary of it because they made the Christmas commercial with Lorenz Tate and Neil Long dancing for Christmas.
Is that Poetic Justice? No, that's
not
Poetic Justice.
Justice.
That's
Janet Jackson.
I see it too.
Lorenz.
Yeah, he walked in.
No, that's Tay Diggs and
Lorenz Tate.
And Sinai Lathan and Brown Sugar.
Love Jones.
Love Jones.
Couldn't think of that. But yeah, and he Bill Bellamy picked up me along in the Cadillac hearse. And he was talking about, but it's still a Cadillac. It's like, boy, if you don't get out of here. But before I'm going to leave, but I just gotta say something real quick. So Kwabena copied me on a post he put up a few minutes ago about a situation. I'm not sure what state it's in. I'm gonna put it on my Facebook page. But a black woman went to the gas station and this white dude pulled in a pickup truck and he hit the back of her car. And so she got out of the car like, you hit my car. And, she wanted to exchange information. The white guy pulls out a Glock, holds it up to her head, and is talking real crazy to her. And it's like people standing around watching it, but nobody's helping her. Nobody's intervening. And, they're yelling for him to stop. But to this young sister's credit, like he is literally holding her neck, holding her chest, gun at her head. She takes her hand and puts it on the barrel of that gun and like pushes back like, nah, I'm not scared. You ain't about to shoot me. And if you do, it is what it is, but you ain't getting ready to punk me. He ends up backing up off of her, but still pointing the gun directly in her face. So this just happened. He ultimately gets arrested. But number one, so, it was like, people was like, but all these brothers were standing around. Nobody helped her. Like, it's a crazy situation to be in because you potentially getting ready to get shot yourself. Right. But people were like posting, because this just happened. People are like yesterday. So people are posting like, welcome to Trump's America. And I'm going to send you the video because it's the most disturbing. He literally got the pistol at her forehead at a gas station with everybody around.
I couldn't believe it.
And the level of, I'm a white man and entitlement. And I wanted to bring it up because y'all, we got to move carefully, be careful. But to that young girl's credit, she put her hand right on the barrel of that gun and was like, no, and like getting him off of her.
And speaking of Trump America, there are people out now asking Trump to pardon Derek Chauvin.
Yep, I mentioned that this morning. I mentioned it, and I bet you It could happen.
It could happen.
But I think that somebody would be in the background saying, I'm going to let you know, you could do it. But if you want to see these Negroes tear up these towns, then go ahead.
Happen, yeah.
But it could happen. That's just that. I'm gonna send you this video. I'm gonna post it on my Facebook page, y'all, for y'all to see it. But this is the most disturbing mess I have ever seen.
I couldn't believe it.
All right, you're listening to Community Voice Call RCU. I'm gonna grab you right after the break. Thanks, Michelle. All right. Good Lord willing, creek don't rise. Hope to talk to you after the break.
After the break.
Be right back.
Join us for an evening of unparalleled artistry with sensational jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra, led by trumpet extraordinaire and 9-time Grammy
The passing of a loved one is emotional enough without adding the stress of funeral arrangements. By pre-planning, you receive the desires of your heart while taking away the burden from your family. It also saves you money, providing the dignity and respect your memory deserves. And there are times when life ends unexpectedly. Please know that the New Pitts Mortuary is here to lend a helping, caring hand anytime, day or night. We are the New Pitts Mortuary.
Good morning, all. Hey, you know what? In our early part of our marriage, we had a car called the Pacer.
Oh yeah,
It looked like something out of the Jetsons. And man, nobody wanted to ride with you. You could, hey man, y'all want to go to the club? Man, I ain't riding in that. They wouldn't get in the car. So, but you know, when you first married, you want stuff that's cheap. But it was cheap, but it sure didn't elicit nothing but laughter or either pity. One of the two. So
man,
I remember that.
My godkids, they can tell you the story. We ran this. We had what was it? An Infinity, and man, we literally ran it till the windows, the electric windows wasn't working. So one day, it's like literally 14 below zero. I got to pick up Cameron and Frankie. They were at YLA, And man, it was so funny, man. I had the heat up on 90, but it was windy. They was catching it, man. We couldn't get that window up. They was just like, they said it was the coldest ride. They could have walked. You know, it was like, man. And then you know what's crazy? We're going to get a new vehicles. Dude wanted to give me $2,500 for that Infinity.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, dude, everything was wrong on it.
Yeah,
everything was wrong. But then he told me, he said, look, young dudes like Infinities.
Yeah.
And what he did, he had a body guy.
Yeah.
He had a guy who could work on the engine.
Yeah.
He had a frame guy. So if he was going to give me $2,500 for it,
he sold it for about 10 racks.
Yeah, and it was because they liked the Infinity because of that sound of the muffler system. Yeah. It sounds real muscular. I didn't like it because I don't want to hear my car.
Yeah, it sounded like.
But it was like when you hear it, I mean, it was. And I remember my buddy, he drove Benzes, and he was like, "Man, I like the way I don't want to hear my car."
Yeah, man, that's like those Acuras, man. I remember my guy had an Acura for years. And it lasted so long. Like, I think he had like over 200,000 miles.
I think if you do regular maintenance on the car, and take care of it, in spite of design obsolescence, you can take care of it. It'll be around for a minute.
Yeah, I think the coldest car we had was a Cordoba.
Well, you had a Cordova.
With that Corinthian
leather.
Corinthian
leather. Ricardo Montalban.
That was the cold car. Except if you know, some of them cars, you wondered about the paint job because you drive them so long until the fading start happening on the Corinthian leather.
Yeah, well, I think any cars.
Brown leather was gray.
Yeah, a lot of people, if you have like a sunroof and people leave that cover up, it's burning up your seat, especially if you got leather seats. You know, so you Corinthian leather.
Yeah. Hey, man. Y'all have a good one.
Hey, you too, man. Caller, welcome to the program. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's happening?
Oh, good. Thanks for taking my call.
No problem.
When you had one seat in the front of the car, it was called a bench seat.
Right.
A bench seat. Also, my first car was a 1961 Rambler American. 3 on the collar. Thank you for taking my call.
You said 3 on the collar. What was 3 on the collar?
3 on the collar was what they called when you had a manual shift car.
Okay.
When you had the shift, but the stick was not on the floor. It was on the steering wheel.
Okay.
And you would shift. They were all 3 speeds. And that was my first car in the car, 1961. Thank you for taking my call.
Appreciate you.
Snuffleupagus is back there going high.
You feel better? We can hear it in here, man.
I said, that was the key of B flat too, by the way.
Oh man, what's happening, Diva? What was your first car, man?
I had a little blue Pinto, man, sky blue.
You had a Pinto?
I had a Pinto, man, and I put basket rim spokes on that baby.
So what size?
They was 13s.
11. 11.
It was 13.
It was 11.
Who said 11s?
Daddy was talking about when he had his rims on. This guy said 20. He said, no, they were really 18.
They was 18. So you put 2 more on than what they really are.
They was 13s. And I might have been ahead of my time, man, because I always would wire stuff up.
Yeah.
I had one of them big old house speakers in the back.
Yeah. Okay.
With the 15 in
that
it.
you could take from the
Yeah.
I had one too.
Yeah. So I was beating back then, man.
With a stereo.
Oh yeah.
You didn't have to get a separate battery for it?
No.
No, you could connect it straight to the thing. Like, because with the house speakers, it was ran by them cords anyway.
Right.
So you could take, I remember doing it because I got in trouble. I took my mama a big speaker.
You were just trouble around there.
Yeah, man, I was the black sheep. I was the black sheep, Doc.
Well, didn't the prophet say when he was praying for your mama?
Yeah.
He's going to be the one?
He was right. Because I was D1. D.
And I wanted to chime in. I heard y'all talking this morning, man, and got kind of deep. I know Brother Jermaine got a little worked up there. I noticed about the God and no God and all of the above. Did you hear that this morning, Brother Keith?
Yeah, I heard it. Better them than me. I'm already gonna be excommunicated from the Baptist church.
I can't go walk in. They gonna douse them in oil.
He said, what church are you at? I said, well, I used to be at a Baptist church.
Right, used to be. Yeah, just how's everything going this morning, man? Y'all doing all right in here?
Doing all right, man. I just thinking about that, that first car, and not knowing how to take care of that car.
Yeah,
like you got to put oil in it. That little thing.
I had a 1979 Laguna.
Laguna.
Okay.
Now that's the first real bucket seat that I was impressed with.
Okay.
Because you could sit in it and had a button that you push, and the whole seat would swivel out.
Okay.
Oh,
you could step right out the car just like that. I don't know why they made it turn. Yes, I do, because it didn't fold up.
Okay.
So for people to get in the back, you had to turn the seat for them to climb in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was it? It was a 2-door?
Yeah, 2-door. Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
The everything was on the floor. It was more of a sports car. Kind of would put you in mind of a Monte Carlo, but if you
was it an automatic transmission or
automatic transmission?
Can you drive a stick?
Yeah, but now I tell you, they only made that car about 2 years, and then they stopped making it.
Yeah, the Corrado I had, which was the Volkswagen, they only did for about 3 years, and it was such a fun car. The color, it would look like when the sun was on it, looked purple.
Mm-hmm.
The sun would hit it. It was just a fun car, and I ended up when we had decided we were going to get another vehicle, ended up selling it to my buddy. But man, that was a fun car to drive, man. And gas, man, I literally would fill up, and I would have to buy gas for like 2 weeks.
Oh wow!
That's how because Germans really do fuel efficient. Their engines are very efficient.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things for a long time, Jewish people didn't drive BMWs and they didn't drive Benzes.
Mm-hmm.
Why was that?
Because of what BMW and Benz did during the Second World War.
Oh.
And to this day, I stopped wearing Hugo Boss because Hugo Boss did the uniforms for the Third Reich, their company.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, they've never renounced Nazism.
Oh.
So I don't wear any Hugo Boss because during the war, like I said, when you look at BMW, Volkswagen, as a matter of fact, the Volkswagen had started off the Beetle, was supposed to be this little tank, this small little thing. And then because Volks means the people's wagon, that's what it means in German. And so it became a really efficient car. And then it made its interest in America in the 60s because hippies drove it. You see them in Volkswagen vans and the little Beetle.
Oh yeah.
Because
they were on the comeback.
Those was
recently.
Volkswagens, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Beetle is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My buddy, he had
Some
a
of those
Beetle.
cars are actually have if you still got them like the original and good day,
Yeah.
have some value to them.
Value.
What Kia used to call old school. He said, "Oh, dude, you classic plates." Yeah, you classics, dude. You know what I mean?
Did Garvey disclose his first vehicle?
Yeah, he had a Pontiac.
He had a Pontiac G6.
Oh, okay.
And want me to tell you a story how I know God real?
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Talk to him.
This from Michelle.
She's not in here right now, but go for it.
She can hear.
So check it out. So on my 17th birthday, right?
Mm-hmm.
I ended up getting a brand new car, and it was a 2000 maybe 9 Nissan Altima.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I got the Nissan Altima, but I literally ended up getting it right a day before my birthday. On my birthday, the transmission blew out. So the transmission blew out right when I pulled in front of my house because I left the Airbnb on my birthday to go pick up some stuff from my house. So when I get back to go in the car, my car won't start up. So a few days go past, and a drunk lady ended up hitting my car at listen, it's like this at like
God sent the drunk lady.
Listen, I'm telling you,
hit that car.
I'm telling
so he
you,
can get a new car.
And the only reason why I'm saying that because I was so anxious to get a car because my birthday was coming up. The guy, he ended up selling me a lemon. And The lady ended up hitting my car maybe 2-3 days afterwards. I get up, I hear a big loud bang, like 12 to like 1 o'clock in the morning. In my head, I already know it's my car. I'm like, oh yeah, somebody just hit my car. My mama ended up screaming like, boom, boom, somebody just hit your car.
Boom boom.
Yeah, that's my nickname, boom, boom.
Oh, okay.
I go outside. The lady ended up hitting my car. She got insurance. Long story short, I get cashed out. End up getting me a brand new car. And I was like, that was nobody but God.
Yeah, because God do work in mysterious ways, whether you believe it or
and an
not.
insured driver.
Well,
but look,
I mean,
I spent my last of my money
Yeah.
on that new car.
Yeah.
And it so happened to be parked exactly where
she crashed.
crashed and needed to hit it.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be surprised,
And it's
man,
just like
because
crazy.
our thoughts are not his thoughts.
Yes,
Wait, hold
that
on.
had to be.
Our thoughts are not his thoughts. So it could be, and I mean, we don't know, but I am going to say this for me that I know for sure that there is a higher power.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
Hold on, wait. Let me
denying
finish.
that.
I know, but let me finish. Not only with the incident that happened on 28th and Clark, but the incident that happened right around the corner on 22nd and Melvina.
Mm-hmm.
I was on my way home. Now, keep in mind, no matter what state of mind you're in, God is so powerful, he can work through any state that you're in. At this particular time, I wasn't thinking about God. I'm high as research monkey. On my way home, just leaving the studio.
Research monkey.
Yeah, I'm high as a fool, research monkey.
Okay.
So I'm sitting at the stop sign on 22nd and Melvina. That stop sign is still there. I'm sitting at the stop sign, listening to the music, but I'm getting ready to turn so I can pull up at my house. As I'm sitting there listening to the music, I hear a voice that spoke to me and told me to look out my window. As I'm turning and looking out my window, the guy pulled up on the side of me, stick the gun out, and shoot my car up. Boom, 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 boom. I drive up on the curb, almost hit the tree. I jump out because I knew I was shot. So I'm looking all on my left side, not one bullet. So I'm like, okay, wow. The young lady that was waiting for me to pull up was outside. She said, man, what you do? I said, nothing. I'm minding my business on my way home. She said, okay, we're not going to stay here. We're going to go stay at your mama's house. As I was getting in the van, I had no clue that this guy was turning around to see if he killed me. Come to find out at this particular time when all of this is happening, my mother was awakened out of her sleep. Pray for your son. As this is happening. So she get up, she's praying. I'm being chased down the side street, Melvina. They following us, trying to pull up on the side to shoot up the van I was in. As I'm going down 27th Street to get to our, because I called one of my friends, this guy's trying to kill me. Man, I need AA. Bring him through that we going to shoot up the van. I'm trying to get to 24th and hour so they can handle business and get this dude up off me. At the same time that my mother is praying that she got an unction that something is happening. I'm flying down 27th Street. Normally it's police out. This is 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Police is out. One of the police in sight. We flying, dude trying to get on the side of us. The girl driving, crying, asking me what I did. I have no clue. So I'm like, don't let this guy get on the side of us. We get to 27th hour and make the left. 26th, 25th. Before we can get to 24th place. Now, this was the morning of my 22nd birthday. Before we can get to 24th place, a car came out of nowhere. It looks like as I'm in the passenger seat looking, the car comes from out of the park space, hit the van, spin the van around, throw me out the van. I hit the ground. The young lady I was with said that when that happened, because I blacked out. Everybody thought I was dead. They was coming out the house. The young man got out of his truck, stood there, looked, got back in and drove off. Come to find out, it was mistaken identity. He thought that I was somebody that killed his cousin. But as I'm in the hospital and my mom and them get out there, now this is the morning of my 22nd birthday, she tells us what's happening. God woke me up, pray. She prayed, and sure enough, 26 years later, I'm sitting here talking to y'all.
Right.
And it was real bullets because it was holes in my car, in my 76 Bonneville with the skirts.
That's a little bit different than the drunk driver hitting the car, though.
No, we're not talking about that. Though we talking about the evidence of God.
Oh yeah.
Facts.
Oh yeah.
Well, okay.
See how that
And
car,
that ain't
because if that car wouldn't have
ain't no
sparked you up,
science right there.
Yeah.
Science ain't got nothing to do with
Yeah,
the
that-
holes being in my car and not one hole in my
Well,
body. Matter of fact, let me tell you this. My good friend, Rodney Poe, was in an incident. He got hit 5 times. He got shot 5 times. He had 6 bullet holes in his mink coat. Bullet hole. I'm there at the hospital with him. Bullet hole right here. When he took the coat off, the bullet fell out.
Mm.
That ain't science.
No.
Oh, it probably is science.
Yeah, if you think that's science,
Now you finna act like Keon, ain't he?
you
He
might.
gonna
I mean,
start
that's what happens when you talk to an unbeliever.
He gonna
think
start
that's
questioning
right.
if you a Christian too.
That might as well go be a science.
Yeah, hey man, you might as well be a scientist, man. Go and put on the white coat and go.
So are you saying that the mink slows down the bullet?
Because I'm just wondering why all the other 5 got through and not that last 6 that was right by his heart. That would have killed him. Even though all the other 5th one could have killed him because he was hit in his lower area. But that one bullet at the hospital when they took off his mink coat, that bullet shell fell out. It's a hole in his coat to this day.
To this day.
He still wear that coat?
No, he keeps it
As a reminder.
as a reminder.
Can I throw this out?
Yes, sir.
'Cause you
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Talking about it could be science. Man, this guy. So it's the lining in the mink coat that stopped.
I'm going back out.
No, let me ask this question. What if the person who shot him was an expert marksman? He probably wouldn't have missed.
He hit him. He got hit 5 times.
But he would have been able, a person who, when you look at a lot of times we say we're pretty fortunate. Yeah, you're fortunate because the person who's operating the weapon he's not an expert in using the weapon, right? They were talking about out in LA with gangs, and they were saying that, no, man, we just be doing this. He said an LA cop know how to shoot to kill.
Absolutely.
So a lot of times it's just the randomness, this person not knowing what they're doing, because like a marksman, like a real marksman that close to Donald Trump, you cancel Christmas. He's done.
Over.
But he benefited from the fact that he had a person who really, for whatever reason,
had no clue. That's why he was kicked out.
Okay,
but
listen, you can
That's
give
right.
a gun.
You get kicked out of
But
marksman
you
class,
can
don't
give
you?
a gun to a 5-year-old. He's not a marksman. But if he pulled that trigger and that bullet hit you in the
Well,
right
depending
spot,
on where you are.
gonna die.
Right. This
Right.
is true.
So you can get hit. You don't have to be a marksman for somebody to kill you. So for you to have,
but a marksman usually, if they know what they're a sniper, they know what they're doing. They're gonna. And I kept thinking, because people going like, if that was a real marksman, that close, 200 feet, we talking. I don't know how many yards Lee Harvey Oswald was from Kennedy, and even today, people were saying that's like that couldn't happen. Let's see when they release these records. So I'm just saying that some things it's probability where you were. And we'll say it's God, but it just could have been like the people who showed up for work at the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
Right. And then you had a person who on that day called in sick.
Right.
It wasn't his time.
Well, but I'm just saying, how do you really can't explain it because it happens every day because people call in sick, don't show up, or you show up, like what they say, being in the wrong place at the right time. Like I just happened to be here and then
right
all this
place at
jumped
the wrong
on.
time.
Yeah. I mean,
whichever way that one go.
But we should, if it's a blessing, count it as a blessing.
Yeah, because ain't no way in the world, just from my experience, me jumping out of my Bonneville and seeing them holes in my car door and not one bullet in the left side of my body. That's not science.
Well, I can tell you back to the tractor. People say, well, you should have been dead. Well, but then when we go back, after we got through the emotion of the moment, we found out kind of why I wasn't dead, right?
It wasn't your time. That's why you
Well,
did.
but beyond that, it was also where the tractor was really positioned.
Man, stop it.
I'm telling you where it was. I mean,
Stop it, man.
it could have been on my head, Jermaine.
Yeah, but it can run over your back and still kill you. It can hit an artery, though. It can run over your lung. It can run over your leg and smash an artery, and you can die.
May we pray.
So it don't matter to where it hits you. You was ran over by a tractor.
Keith, is there a higher power, a board, or anything that you might have that we can call him, have him call you in front of the board?
yeah, we gotta bring Keith in front of the
in front of the board.
in front of the board, Jack.
I feel like I'm part of the Salem witch trials now.
He's a witch. He's a witch. Treason. Oh, blasphemy.
There's got to be some higher board. There's got to be somebody you got to answer to.
Well, yeah, yeah, the higher power.
See, there we go.
The big guy,
her,
the big her, the big guy. You know, the one that has no name.
All right.
The one that when Pharaoh said, "And your God's name is," and Moses said, "Let me go back and check," and he said, "Go back and tell him that I am that I am."
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, don't need a government name. I am the government.
I am.
I am that caused the beat.
I like that.
Oh, I think one of the great theological concepts is the concept of I am. You know, I am. I mean that you and then he couldn't even explain to him, well, we're not even allowed to use his name. So when we go back, just tell him I am that I am. And guess what? He gonna find out that I am. Yeah. Not, because it wasn't a question of who, because everybody had deities. And back in the day, it was always the rivalries of the gods. Whose God or whose gods were more powerful. Judaism then comes up with monotheism, where we believe one God. But a lot of people had sun gods, rain gods. I mean, it was all, and so they said, it's just one God. Oh man, we're at the end of the program.
Man, so good, so good. Man.
All right. Well, excuse me. Let's see, I got a couple of texts I can get in here.
Like, don't you come home tonight?
Somebody said it wasn't your time either because you're not done yet.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
We can make that argument that it wasn't,
But do you believe? Do you believe that your life can be stolen?
We had this discussion. Is there such a thing as he died too soon? And the question is, well, no, because he died. Now, for us, we feel not. This is what my grandmother said after the whole tractor thing. She said, "Well, the Lord spared your life because He has something for you to do."
Obviously, He did.
That's what Adam May said.
I mean, obviously, He did because. Look, you went to school.
I'm just saying, but then there were other people who probably got ran over by a tractor and they did that. So I mean, I don't know. People say it's random. I don't know. Here's what I do though. I appreciate blessings.
Oh yeah, Doc.
And I celebrate blessings.
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
And no matter where the source of the blessing,
it's a blessing.
It's a blessing, and I think that is kind of where you are. If you call it good fortune. You call it good fate, whatever you call it. But if it's a blessing, celebrate the blessing.
Celebrate the blessing. Yeah.
That's the bottom line. My mama said that act like you appreciate it.
I'm trying to tell you.
Hey, let me thank Garvey. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Jermaine, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Because you went treadmill today. Michelle, thank you. Devo, thank you. Callers, we thank you. Good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. Don't matter what the creek is. Hope to talk to everybody tomorrow. And always go from this place of peace.
I'm Howard Robertson.